Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. We're going to talk a lot today about the cold front moving in tomorrow and how that's going to impact the holiday weekend. And I'll finish up talking a little bit about Tropical Storm Elsa. It's still way out there, and I'll emphasize that several times that it is a long way to worry about anything right now. It's something we'll keep an eye on, but certainly nothing to change plans or even get too concerned about until probably next week. So let's get right to what's happening right now because we've got a cold front on the way. There's the cold front stretching from the Great Lakes in the Northeast back into the middle of the country. That's the front that's going to arrive tomorrow. We're probably going to see at least some storms bubble up today, but most of the activity is going to be tonight and Friday. The good news, this thing is going to be moving out of here just in time for the holiday weekend. Quick little look at the severe weather outlook because we do have a little bit of a severe weather risk up to our northeast. Wouldn't be surprised to see a couple strong storms today in the mountains and foothills, but overall it doesn't look like a big deal. This is actually the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. Notice we don't have much of one. In fact, I'm going to turn off the satellite imagery here. We don't have a risk tomorrow currently, and day 3, there's not a risk either. So that's good news that we don't see a severe weather risk, but there's likely going to be at least a risk of some flash flooding as this moves to the south and east, and I'll show you that real quickly. So real quickly, this is the excessive rainfall outlook. You can see the legend here. It goes from marginal, slight, moderate, so low, medium, high, and extreme. You can see the mountains this afternoon, tonight are in that medium or slight risk, and we've got the lower risk across the Piedmont. Now tomorrow, that risk shifts a little bit further to the east. You can see that threat begins to shift. I'll turn off today real quickly. You could see all of us in that low risk, and then the coast will be under that medium risk. So the primary concern the next 24 hours is going to be the risk for flash flooding. This is going to be a pretty heavy rain event heading our way. So let's go back to the radar and satellite here, and we'll kind of turn off the radar real quickly, and we'll get into the future cast of how this is going to push in. So this will break down the timing of the front. So here we are. We're starting this morning. We'll go into the afternoon hours. I'll stop this around 2 p.m. because you could see even today we're going to see the risk for some strong storms possibly popping up on the eastern slopes. So right in there, but the main front is still back to the northwest. We'll go into the evening hours. You can see some of the heavy rain beginning to move into the mountains. So that's why there's that medium risk for flash flooding. Then tonight, the front begins to actually get pretty active. So we're going to see rain into the overnight hours. This front is actually picking up a little bit of speed over the last couple of days. So rain tonight looks to be pretty heavy into early Friday. We wake up Friday morning, we've got some rain around. There'll be some rain in the morning. Now the front itself looks to be somewhere in here. So this rain will likely weaken a little bit tomorrow morning, but then I would expect things to perk back up in the afternoon as the front gets closer. So there could be a couple waves of rain tomorrow morning, and you can see the front itself getting active tomorrow afternoon. So the morning looks wet, but as the day goes on, there's likely going to be a pretty good surge of moisture coming in as the front pushes east. But here's the good news for the upcoming weekend. We go into Saturday morning, and the front is east of the area. So we really dry things out. The front gets here, and we start to see that cooler, drier air move in, which sets the stage for a really nice weekend. So overall, I mean, that is a really good timing setup, but a really soggy Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll go through the weekend a little bit further here with some further guidance just to show you real quickly. So this is early Saturday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll go closer to sunrise, and you can see the front clears the area. So a beautiful setup here. The front is well off to the east. So as we go through time on Saturday, the front is long gone. We will be dry for the majority, if not the entirety, of the holiday weekend, albeit maybe a pop-up storm on Monday. Okay, now let's turn our focus to Elsa real quickly. All right, so here is Tropical Storm Elsa. You can see it in relation to the United States. It's right here. It's got some nice circulation with it. It's moving fairly quickly, which can be problematic because as systems move pretty fast, they tend to kind of tear themselves apart. So here's the forecast cone, and I'm going to turn everything on here just so you can see the forecast. You can see the movement off to the north and west. It is not forecast to become anything more than a tropical storm at this point. But I'm going to put a big caveat on this. I'm going to throw the forecast models out here real quickly. There is a huge spread in the long range here. This storm is still in its infancy. Could make a churn here, could go over the big islands and like stay weak and hit Florida, or it could still go into the Gulf of Mexico. But we're talking sometime early next week, Monday, Tuesday, at the earliest. So if you have any plans along the coast, don't change them. Don't freak out. This is wait and see mode. In fact, the only people that really need to be monitoring this really closely right now is the people in Florida. But if I'm going to the coast, I'm keeping an eye on everything. But we've got a ways to go. Hurricane hunters will go out there today. We'll have a better idea of where this thing is going to go. But it is still a long ways out there. This is the thing about these systems. When they're this far out, it's just too many wild cards to really play. So I would not be too concerned about this right now. But as any time you plan a beach vacation or any time in the Caribbean during hurricane season, pay attention to the forecast. As this gets closer this weekend, I'll start talking about maybe where it might be going and some of its potential. I'll show you some of the guidance here real quickly, though. So this is the current intensity guidance from this morning. You can see it's already a tropical storm. Most of the guidance keeps it relatively in that strong tropical storm strength. There are a couple of the models that bring it up to category 1, but the worst outlier is a cat 2. So overall, if you look at the consensus on this, it's pretty much tropical storm strength. Now, as far as that guidance again for the track, you can see the spread here. The official forecast is right here down the middle. There are a couple out here and a couple to the west. So the big driving force is going to be this ridge of high pressure here. How strong does it stay? How strong is the storm? And does it keep it pushing to the west? So there's still a lot of unknowns, actually more unknowns than knowns right now. But as we get into the weekend, I think we'll have a much better idea on what this thing's going to do. And the hurricane hunters going out there today always helps the guidance. But right now, it's kind of wait and see mode. The ridge is going to be important in how strong this is, but it's pretty far to the south. With this strong ridge, I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to stake probably more to the left side of this or to the middle. This churn to the north seems a little suspicious to me right now. But of course, it's still early. We'll keep an eye on this system. But right now, we're not in a big worry or freak out mode with Elsa. Let's get through the holiday weekend first, and then we can start focusing on Tropical Storm Elsa.